The broadcast stopped at 1437 Galactic Standard Time. For 3 centuries, humanity's transmissions had been the background noise of the galaxy, a constant, chaotic symphony of data streams, entertainment signals, emergency beacons, and diplomatic channels. Earth never stopped talking. Even during the Centauri Wars, even through the Great Plague of 2847, even when the solar economy collapsed, humanity's voice echoed across the stars. And then silence. Ambassador Kelthar of the Vryn Concordat was the first to notice. He had been monitoring human news feeds, a guilty pleasure of his when every channel simultaneously went dark. At first, he assumed it was a technical malfunction, perhaps a solar flare, perhaps scheduled maintenance across Sol Systems relay stations. But the silence persisted. 1 hour, 2 hours, 6 hours. Kelthar's thoracic chambers tightened with an unfamiliar sensation. Dread. He immediately contacted the Galactic Council's emergency session. Within the massive crystalline chamber of the Council Station, representatives from 47 species materialized via hollow projection. The confusion was palpable, rippling through the assembly like a wave. "This is unprecedented," declared High Counselor Veshnak, her bioluminescent skin flickering with anxiety. "In all our records, humanity has never gone silent," finished Kelthar. "Not once. Not ever." The Jakari delegate, a being of pure energy contained within a magnetic field, pulsed nervously. "Perhaps they've simply upgraded their communication protocols. Humans are known for their constant tinkering." But Ambassador Thren of the Kasari Collective shook his massive head, his 6 eyes blinking in sequence. "No, I know humans. I've studied them for 70 years. They don't just go quiet. When humans have a problem, they broadcast it to everyone who will listen. When they're in trouble, they call for help. When they're celebrating, the entire sector knows. Silence." He paused, mandibles clicking thoughtfully. "Silence means something has gone catastrophically wrong." The Council authorized an immediate reconnaissance mission. 3 of the fastest scout ships in the galaxy were dispatched to Sol System. The journey would take 18 hours, even at maximum quantum drive. Those were the longest 18 hours in galactic history. Across known space, species that had once mocked humanity's endless chatter found themselves unsettled by its absence. The Karathi, who had complained about human transmissions interfering with their meditation frequencies, now felt their homeworld eerily empty. The Planari traders, who had made fortunes selling communication dampeners to species tired of human spam, suddenly saw their market collapse as panic buying shifted to human-made weapons and defense systems. Because everyone was thinking the same thing. If something could silence humanity, what chance did anyone else have? The Vorax Empire, the galaxy's reigning military superpower, mobilized its fleets, not toward Earth, toward their own borders. If an enemy had eliminated humanity, the Vorax wanted to be ready when that enemy came for them next. When the scout ships finally reached Sol System, they found something worse than invasion. They found peace. Earth hung in the void, beautiful and blue, completely untouched. Its orbital stations were intact, their lights still burning. The lunar colony showed no signs of damage. Mars habitats were fully functional. Every human installation throughout the system remained operational. But empty, not abandoned. The ships could detect power signatures, life support systems running, automated factories still producing. But no humans, no transmissions, no responses to hails. It was as if 9 billion people had simply stopped. The lead scout captain, a grizzled Thulian named Rax, had fought in 17 campaigns and survived the Void Plague. His voice shook as he transmitted back to the Council. "It's like they're all asleep. Every single one of them." Then the data came through. Earth's planetary network was still active, and once the scouts accessed it, passwords unchanged, security systems still following protocols humanity had shared with allied species, they discovered the truth. 3 days ago, every human had simultaneously entered a deep meditative state. Not sleep. Not unconsciousness. Something else. Their neural patterns showed unprecedented synchronization across the entire species, whether they were on Earth, Mars, Alpha Centauri, or the edge of the Oort cloud. And buried in the deepest, most encrypted military databases, the scouts found the message that had been scheduled to broadcast galaxy-wide. The message that would have sent the day after the silence began, if humanity hadn't believed they'd have time to warn everyone personally. Admiral Rax played it for the Council. A human appeared on the projection. Admiral Sarah Chen, Supreme Commander of the United Earth Fleet. She looked exhausted, her dark eyes carrying the weight of impossible knowledge. "To our galactic neighbors," she began, "if you're receiving this, it means we didn't survive long enough to warn you properly. 72 hours ago, our deep space telescopes detected it, something emerging from dark space between galaxies. Not ships, not a civilization, something else. Something that feeds on electromagnetic radiation, on consciousness itself. It consumed the Andromeda Galaxy 4 million years ago. We can see the void where those trillion stars used to shine." She paused, steadying herself. "It's coming. It will reach our galaxy in approximately 200 years. We calculated that if every human consciousness synchronized, if we pooled our collective neural energy into our most powerful scions, we might be able to project a warning, a repellent, something to buy the galaxy time. We're attempting to become a lighthouse, burning ourselves out so the rest of you can see the rocks ahead." Admiral Chen's image flickered. "If this works, our species will transcend. If it doesn't, we'll die as we lived, loud, stubborn, and buying everyone else time to figure out a solution. Humanity's last words to the galaxy. You're welcome, and you better not waste this." The transmission ended. For a long moment, the council chamber was silent. Then Kelthar began to laugh, a harsh, pained sound. Of course humanity's response to galaxy-ending horror is to sacrifice themselves so everyone else can prepare. They couldn't just warn us and save themselves. They had to be dramatic about it. But his eyes were wet and his voice cracked with grief. High Counselor Veshnak straightened, her skin blazing with renewed purpose. "Then we honor their sacrifice. We prepare. We research. We find a way to fight what's coming." She looked at the empty space where Earth's transmission should have been, and added softly, "And we make sure that when humanity wakes up, if they wake up, they find a galaxy that was worth saving." The silence from Earth continued. But the galaxy had never been louder, as every species began working together, united by the echo of humanity's last greatest gift, a warning bought with their existence, and the hope that someone would survive to remember they had been there. The day Earth went silent, the galaxy learned to roar.